Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. This is Finance Masterclass, and here we are going to be reviewing our coming week trades that we are going to take. We want to know where the opportunities are and where are the likely best opportunities where you can take your trade and make quick profits. So that is what we are going to be looking at. And we are going to be looking at several pairs, several currencies, especially the ones that moves quite a lot, the one that moves smoothly enough. We are going to be looking at them, and we are expecting that this week will even be better than the previous week. All right, now let's go back to the basis. So this is a EURUSD, still one of the best pair to trade anytime, any day. EURUSD. So we are going to be looking at the opportunities in EURUSD for this coming week. Now, this is 4-hour chart as we are seeing on the screen. I'm expecting that this EURUSD has been on a massive bull run, and I expect it to continue. All right, you can see for a very long time, EURUSD has been moving all the way up, breaking every hindrances and barrier. So now what is it for this pair at this moment? So I will expect the pair to show us a lot of positivity. You can see with this massive candle left hand bar here, the pair has broken out of this resistance and they are now consolidating. So I will expect any sort of pullback here, any pullback, then thereafter continuation of the movement. So if I am to buy into EURUSD, I will buy it here on a previous resistance that has been broken out from, and upon returning to that same resistance again, the resistance becomes support. So that is how it has always been with Forex. You know, it is said that the best thing we can do as traders is to place our trade at the point where we are not going to lose much if we lose, and we are not going to end up very devastated. Therefore we move by precautionary procedures. So now let's allow a retracement backwards, then continuation. Upon the point of continuation is where we'll be loading our massive trade. All right, so what is there to do? I want to see a little correction, thereafter continuation of the trade. Now let me look at the daily time frame and see how it looks. Even the daily time frame looks almost the same. So we are expecting a little pullback. Thereafter, the pair continues on its trajectory upwards. All right. So at this juncture, we are going to be moving into the weekly chart to see. The weekly chart also shows a lot of bullishness. As you can see, I have an ongoing trade already on this pair. Look at it here on this line. That is where I've entered into the trade, and it's now running in profit, almost more than $2,000 profit. So, but I'm still expecting it to continue to rise. It's going to move massively up. Therefore, I'm expecting it to continue to surprise. All right. Therefore, at this juncture, I want us to look at the 4-hour time frame again. You can see almost moving onto the charted territories. So good. So EURUSD has been on a massive bull run, and we think that it's gonna continue. All right. So at this juncture, I continue to maintain a positive outlook towards EURUSD. Moving on, We are now on gold. This is gold against USD. Gold versus USD. We are on the 4 hours chart at the moment, but we are still going to look at other chart to see the opportunity that we have. As you can see, gold is moving on a straight trend line, on a straight channel. You can see from this region, it was a support. They were all bouncing on the supportive trend line. Here there was a bounce of this trend line. There's a bounce of this trend line. This one happened just last week. I told you that what I expected from gold is to pull back and come to this level. I marked this level because it was a support. It was a support. In the past, there has been a support and as well as a resistance in the past. Here it was a great resistance, it was a great resistance, it was a great resistance, and here this kind of broke out of that resistance with a powerful force. It broke out of the resistance and then retested the resistance again. Retested the broken resistance, which has turned out to become a support. Like I have always told you that whenever a resistance is broken out from by a pair, what happens is that that region, that point ends up becoming another support that will continue to upward trade for a reasonable amount of time. So this has been a support, and from here this gold has bounced upwards. So what are we expecting it to do this week? I'm expecting a pullback to this trend line, to bounce off this trend line and continue its movement to the upside. So basically our bias for this week on gold is going to be nothing but a buy. So we are still going for a long position on gold. So just be careful, because gold is a trend, is a commodity that deceives a lot of people by its haphazard movement. But if you know how to trade gold with confidence, it will always be a go-to currency, a go-to pair for you at any point in time, because it moves quite a lot, and if you are spot on your trade, you expect to make massive profit on it. So let us look at the daily time frame and see how it looks. Perfect. This, you can see the daily time frame. You can see here it was a big support base. Here is a support. So gold is actually making a series of higher high and higher lows. Therefore, it's still in an uptrend. At this point in time, it has broken out of this resistance area, and that resistance broken out of has now become a support on which the gold pair will continue to move upwards. So the buy position favors gold for the moment. So we are going to be looking at a slight pullback towards the broken resistance. A slight pullback towards this horizontal line is what I'm looking at. Thereafter, you place your trade around that region or hold out to the upside. So we are biased to the upside, but we're gonna wait for the pair to make a slight pullback before entering our trade. Even if we decide to enter the trade immediately, that is not bad, because eventually I believe that gold is still going to move up. It's going to catch up. So, but if you don't have such patience to wait for all the rigmarole of gold, I will advise you to allow gold to pull back first towards this trend line, anywhere towards this trend line. Once it recovers at that stage, that is the perfect opportunity to buy into gold. Therefore, our trade for this week is going to be to the upside. It's going to be on long position. So let me look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame is quite interesting. You can see there's a doji on the weekly time frame. This doji might cause the trade to move down a bit before picking up again to the upside. So expect a great trade, expect to succeed. We are hopeful that we are going to make a lot of money coming this week, and by the grace of God, we get them all. We get all our pips spot on. All right. So what is most ideal for growth this tower is a buy, and that is as well as USD. USD continue to remain on a very powerful bull run, so that is good for growth. And gold has continued to maintain resilience because the hedge funds and money managers have continued to key into gold, making gold to serve as a hedge asset, or to serve as an asset in the times of danger, an asset that can be bought and preserved for future use. In the times of uncertainty, people tend to buy into gold to preserve their money in form of gold. Therefore, expect gold to continue to perform very well in this coming week and in the weeks ahead. All right. Moving on, let's now go to GBPUSD, and this is the daily chart of the GBPUSD. You can see the movement has been smooth for GBPUSD, broken out of all the resistances that were holding it ab initio. So at this moment in time, we can easily conclude that the pair is on a bullish run. Check it out here from this point in time. This is the daily time frame. For several days, it has been moving on a series of green candles. It has been moving massively to the upside. Here on a full day ended positive, continue to end positive up to this moment in time. Therefore, the pair is on a bullish run. So, but how do we buy into it? It's on a bullish run, but we must buy into it in an intelligent way. So the best way is to buy it when the price has shown you some levels of discounting, so that the purchase will appear quite cheap for you. So what are we going to do? In order to view this pair very well, we are going to minimize this chart in order to have a better and a deeper look on what is happening. So this is how it appears at this moment in time. So you can see from my left, you can see the major resistance area, this place. I'm expecting the pair to pull down to that region. It's gonna pull back to somewhere of this nature, to the top of this, this candlestick. So this movement that it made here, I'm expecting on this particular candle, this long candle, this sort of inefficient move, I'm expecting that it's gonna be filled somehow. So I'm expecting a pullback into this candle. From there, I will now take up to the upside. All right. So the strategy for this, for GBPUSD, is quite simple. You are going to allow the trade to pull back again, so which during the process of pulling back, many people will interpret it as a reversal, a premature reversal. But we are not seeing it as a reversal. We are seeing it as a trade that is not going to work out. Therefore, I'm expecting a pullback towards this trend line, which coincides with candlesticks. I'm expecting a pullback. Then from that pullback, the pair will gather its momentum to take off to the upside. All right. Moving on. This is AUDUSD, and this is the weekly chart. You can see this trend line that runs all the way, traversing through all of these regions down here. The pair has not been able to break out of that trend line, but this time around we are figuring out that it could be able to do it. Like here, it hit that resistance with a full bullish candle, which we oftentimes call Marubozu candle. So that is the type of candle it used to hit that resistance. So I'm expecting a little pullback around that resistance and a takeoff that we break free from that resistance. So let's look at the lower time frame to know exactly what is transpiring. So now let's look at the daily time frame of the same chart. So this is the daily time frame. A strong bullish momentum has been detected on this line. This moved up for quite a longer period now, and I'm expecting the continuation of that movement. So from here to this point has been a massive gain, and if you are in the trade from this point, you will thank your God for it, because that is what is a very serious bullish run. And now we are going to look at other time frame. We are looking at the 4-hourly time frame, and you can see the trend line that I have here has continued to prove itself strong, showing supportive approach in about 3 to 4 regions. Now, what is there for us for this week? I'm expecting any sort of pullback to this region. I'm expecting a 50% discounting of this move from here to here. So I'm expecting a pullback into this horizontal line from where it will take up again. So our bias for the week for AUDUSD remains bullish. So we are bullish biased on AUDUSD, and by the grace of God, we are gonna get all our pips. Moving on, we are now on silver. Silver is looking quite interesting, just like gold. You can see the moving average that I have here. This moving average has continued to serve as a support for this silver. And as far as this moving average is in this pattern, moving almost like a trend line, like a straight trend line, but it's a moving average. You can see that it's serving as a support. And as such, this silver will continue to rise up. It will continue to go up and up. So what am I saying for the coming week? Last week I told you that it was gonna go up, and it went up this time around. So what are we expecting for this week? I am looking at this important trend line that I have here. Is serving as a trend line that will continue to slant this way towards the upside, and as it's doing such, the silver will continue to maintain an upward trend. So silver is maintaining a series of higher highs and higher lows, which is an evidencing part of uptrend. So uptrend is in force. You can see from here, this is a weekly chart, by the way. From throughout the past week, the candle was positive. The candle was a bullish candle. So it ended the week positive, on a positive note, and this is a new week. What am I expecting? I'm expecting to see something like a three-wire soldier, in which case a green candle is what is going to be formed here. So which ultimately means that the pair is still going to go up in the coming week. So after about a week now, this candle here will close, and it's going to be a bullish candle. So that being the case, means that we are better off being a buyer in this commodity. In this commodity, we are better off being a buyer. So what are we gonna do? Well, we expect a slight discounting of the pair. and thereafter the trade will pick up. So I will expect something of this nature, for this pair to be discounted towards just a slight discounting. And so I'm expecting a discounting of at least 50% of this candle moves down a bit, and that will be it. It will move to the upside. So expect a positive week for silver pair. Now let's look at other time frame. We are gonna look at the daily time frame. Okay, look at the daily time. Even in the daily time frame, the moving average continues to be under the price, thereby serving as a support. You can see the moving average here moving up, and it's here at this point in time. So there's a trend line I drew here last week. So this trend line has been broken out from, just as I told you that it was going to be a buy for that week, and it was indeed. So there's a bearish candle here that has been ignored, which is also an evidence that the pair is going to go up. So this bearish candle was sandwiched in between here, and by this giant candle, the bearish candle has been overtaken. Therefore, we expect this currency, expect silver to continue to go to the upside. All right, let us now look at the 4-hourly time frame. So the 4-hourly time frame, it looks even more interesting. So the price is above the moving average, indicative of a positive outcome for the bulls. So it is rising up with massive force. So it is totally bullish, and as such, what we are going to be looking at for is bullish momentum. So when we see a positive candle, we'll be buying into it, just like this place. Any good trader would have bought into this candle. By the time this candle became a bottoming tail bar or a bullish pin bar, and it is forming on the base of this moving average, well, that is a very powerful buy if you have done that. Whenever you see a bullish candle, a bullish setup formed on top of a 200 moving average, it always make for a good buy. So this is where we are at the moment. So we are now at a resistance level. So I want to see the pair struggle a bit around this region, go a little up, come down, go up, come down, and it will finally break out of this resistance area, and that will be it. And it will show that the silver will continue to maintain bullishness in this coming week. It will continue to maintain this bull run for this week. So we expect a lot of changes in silver. So silver is going to increase in value within the week under review. All right, so let us look out for opportunity to go long and go in silver for this coming week. All right. Moving on, this is NZD/USD, and this is the daily chart of the NZD/USD. So now let's see what is there for us for the coming week. This is an interesting trade. It's an interesting pair, interesting currency that we can bank on at any point in time, NZD/USD. So you can see from this point, when we analyzed and said that the pair is going to find support here, that was last time in the previous weeks that passed. So we maintain that it was going to find support here, and that is exactly what happened. It found support and all, and since then it has been all the way moving to the upside, to the uppers of this trade. So what is there for us now? We are expecting we are expecting a continuation, quite alright, but it is not going to continue that easy. There's still going to be some hiccups here and there before the trade will now pick up again. So we are expecting a form of reaction or a sort of a pullback. So what happens is that this pair is likely to pull back to these broken resistances. There's a resistance here, there's a resistance here, and there's a massive resistance here, and there's also a resistance around this region. So we are expecting the pair to pull back towards this horizontal line that corresponds to the top resistances of the past. So once there's that pullback, then we expect the pair to continue to move to the upside. So there's going to be a massive buy when the pair pulls back to this region. All the buyers that has been waiting for a pullback are going to bounce in, and then the pair will end up skyrocketing to the upside. So we are going to just exercise some patience, allow it to pull back up to these points that correspond to the previous resistances. Resistance here, support here, by the way, resistance. So a pullback will make for a perfect trade on this pair. So hopefully we are going to get our pips as the pair pulls back to that region. Moving on, what we have now is USDCAD, and this is the daily chart of the USDCAD. You can see since the last time we make analysis last week, the pair is continuing to move down. All the way from here, it's moved down to this point or red candles. That is evidence of a very bearish momentum. And with the last candle you're seeing here, it shows a high level of bearish pressure. So the pair is on a downward trend. But what we expecting to do at this point in time is to take cognizance of what is happening and place a trade accordingly. So I will expect a continuation of this bearish momentum in this coming week. So what it's going to do is that we are going to make our analysis spot on in order to get our our pips as far as possible as soon as the market opens on Monday. So with this massive candle that you can see here, so I'm expecting the market to discount this candle to about 50%. So what I'm saying is that there's going to be a pullback of about 50% of this candle. If that is done, then I will expect a continuation of the bullishness of this pair. So the pair is going down, and when this happens, it is better off for us to be sellers at that point in time. So it's better to join the trend, to keep fighting the trend. You will never win anything by fighting what's already established. So this pair is going down from what I can see on the chart. So I expect in a situation whereby it will pull back to this horizontal line, then it will now make a continuation downwards. So we are expecting our trade to all be successful, and we are going to get it all our pips. We are going to obtain it from the market. So even in the power time frame, it's continuing to show that there's need for a pullback. So this momentum that is being gathered here is beginning to slow down here. So at the At the moment this base is properly formed, the pair will attempt to take off. That if care is not taken, you would think that it's a complete reversal, but it's still going to turn around and begin to go down again. So expect a continuation of the downward momentum. Moving on, this is USDCHF and this is the daily chart. You can see from our last analysis, the pair has been moving all the way down. Let's see the other time frame. You see, last time we said that if it manages to break out of this triangle, that is going to continue to go down until it hits this point, this level, and it's almost at the verge of hitting this level. And when it hits this level, it's going to become a double bottom. But this double bottom is not going to work out to the upside because the bearish momentum is still so high. So what we rather see is a sort of pullback, a slight pullback to the upside that we deceive a lot of people who will think that that the situation has changed, that the bearishness has been turned to bullishness. No, not thinking about that. I don't think that's going to be the case, but a slight pullback is more probable at this stage. So you can see the breaking out of this triangle has led to a massive move down to this point. So what we are expecting? We are expecting a continuation of this bearish momentum. But as you know that the Forex don't just move in a straight line, it tends to move in a haphazard direction. So what is there for us for this week is going to be a comprehensive sell opportunity and also a buy opportunity. But let's concentrate on this at this point in time. So I'm still expecting 1 or 2 more candles that will close this gap to this point, and this is where we are going to buy. So sorry, it's going to close this point here, and one it does that, it will attempt to move up. If you are cut off, or if you are cut off for that, you can buy. You can do this cap. You can buy temporarily and then take your profit as fast as you can and then wait for the sell. So what is going to happen is a situation where this pair will pull back towards this region. So this is the point I'm looking at here. So I'm expecting a pullback to this level, then it will now break out of this double button. So the pair is going to break out of it, thereby deceiving many. As it breaks out of it, then a pullback will now begin to be more probable. So I'm expecting a sort of pullback, then continuation of the downward trend. So if that is the case, where shall be our take profit level? Our take profit level shall be at the very bottom of the previous support here. So our take profit level is going to be here, which corresponds to a previous support, strong support for that matter. So if you're making this trade, you should be aiming not less than 100 pips of profit, and then your precautionary region your stop level should be anything around 30 pips. So if you look at it very well, you discover that it's worth the risk. Risking 30 pips as against 100 pips, that is at least up to 3 times the profit, up to 3 PR. So that's interesting. And we are going for bearish bias for USDCHF in this week. And hopefully we are going to get on our pips. All right. So if you have found value on this tutorial, on this analysis, I want you to hit the subscribe button as a way of encouraging us and continue to do more to bring you this wonderful, technical analysis for the coming week. All right.